All right, ready to dive deep. Today, it's all about sensitive skin. You know, when your face feels like it's about to just erupt.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to take what we learned from this episode of Glow Up Chronicles
Okay.
and use it to help you figure out those annoying flare-ups and create a sensitive skin survival plan.
Yeah, think of this as like a crash course, you know, how to calm your skin down. One thing I loved about this episode is that they talk about sensitive skin like it's a spectrum.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Yeah, which is really helpful because it's not just one thing. They explain how your skin's sensitivity can change.
Right.
Based on all sorts of things, like your environment, how stressed you are,
Right.
even the products you're using. It really shows you how much our skin can change.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not like you're just stuck with one skin type forever.
Right.
Okay, so enough about the background. Let's get to the good stuff. How do we actually build a routine that actually works for sensitive skin? They mentioned like 5 key tips, right?
Yes. In the episode.
And it's interesting because these 5 tips,
Yeah.
they're not just random. They're all connected to working with your skin instead of against it. Like you're trying to make your skin stronger. Okay, so the first one, patch testing.
Okay, patch testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be like everyone's best friend.
Everyone.
Okay, I'll admit, sometimes I get a little bit lazy with it.
I do too.
So remind me, why is it so important?
It's like an insurance policy for your skin, right? You don't want to have a major freak out. Especially with sensitive skin, you want to be extra cautious about new products.
Yeah.
Just a little dab on your wrist or behind your ear can save you from a lot of trouble.
Nobody wants a face meltdown.
Yeah.
What's next? What's the next tip?
This one's all about keeping it simple. They're big on the less is more idea.
Okay.
It's really about stripping back to just the essentials, you know? A gentle cleanser, a moisturizer that your skin loves, and of course, sunscreen every day, no matter what. Okay, so we've got like our 3 core products.
Yeah.
But how do you know which ones to choose? That's like my biggest problem with sensitive skin.
Well, that's where tip number 3 comes in. Become an ingredient detective.
Oh, okay.
Knowing what to avoid is just as important as knowing what you should be looking for.
Okay.
And Glow Up Chronicles, they point out the usual suspects. Things like fragrances, sulfates, and alcohol.
Oh, yeah, I've had some bad experiences with those.
Yeah.
So what are the good guys? What are the things that we should be actually seeking out?
Look for ingredients that soothe and strengthen your skin barrier. They highlight ceramides, oat extract, and aloe vera.
I love all of those.
Yeah, these are known for calming inflammation and helping your skin hold on to moisture.
Okay.
You know, it's all about replenishing and protecting that fragile skin barrier.
That makes so much sense. It's like you're giving your skin a little bit of TLC so it can thrive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to number 4.
Okay.
Exfoliation. Now, before you panic, they don't want you to stop completely.
Okay, good.
But they stress that you need to be gentle.
Right.
So what's the gentle way to exfoliate?
Yeah.
They suggest looking for chemical exfoliants.
Yeah.
Especially ones with lactic acid, because it's known to be gentler on sensitive skin.
Okay.
And they recommend just once or twice a week, max.
I like that they give you a number. That really helps. All right, we've got 4 tips. What's the last one?
This one's probably the most important.
Okay.
Listen to your skin.
Okay.
It's about paying attention to how it reacts to different products and ingredients.
Oh, okay. So that means like if something makes my skin feel tight or itchy, or if I wake up with like a new friend, like a big red bump.
Yeah, or if you wake up and you're like, what is that?
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it's all about noticing those subtle clues, you know. Sometimes they're not so subtle.
Right.
Sensitive skin can be a little tricky, and what works for someone else may not work for you. So it's a process of trying things out, but the more you pay attention, the better you'll understand what your skin actually needs.
This is all such good advice, but I really want to hear about their product recommendations.
Of course.
Because sometimes you just want someone to just tell you what to buy, right?
They have some really good suggestions for cleansers, moisturizers, sunscreens, and even serums.
Oh, yeah.
And the best part is they're all sensitive skin approved, so you don't have to worry.
Oh, that's good. I always worry about like accidentally setting my face on fire.
Yeah, you don't want that.
With a product that's not meant for me.
Yeah.
So let's start with cleansers. What are their top picks?
They suggest 2 that are really gentle but also effective. The Cerevos Hydrating Cleanser.
Okay.
And the La Roche-Posay Toleriane Gentle Cleanser.
Yeah, those are familiar names. I've heard good things.
Yeah.
What about moisturizers?
They've got you covered there too. If you like something lighter, they recommend the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream.
I've actually tried that one.
Yeah.
And I really like it. It's super hydrating, but it's not heavy.
And if you want something a little richer, they recommend the Aveeno Calm Plus Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer.
Oh, I love anything with oat extract. That's so soothing. All right, so we got to talk about sunscreen.
Yes.
That's a non-negotiable for me, even on cloudy days. What do they say?
They recommend the Ultimate UV Clear Broad Spectrum SPF 46.
Okay.
And it's super popular for a reason. It's lightweight, it doesn't leave a white cast, and it's good for sensitive skin.
Okay, that one's going on my shopping list.
Okay, good.
What about serums? Do they recommend any specific ingredients or products?
And they say hyaluronic acid and niacinamide are really good for sensitive skin.
Okay.
And they suggest the Paula's Choice Calama Redness Relief Repairing Serum.
Oh yeah, that one sounds good. I'm sensing a theme here.
Mm-hmm.
They really seem to favor products that soothe and calm.
Yeah, it's all about minimizing irritation
Right.
and helping your skin protect itself.
Okay.
And I really like that they don't just stop at product recommendations.
Yeah.
They talk about the whole picture of skincare, which people often forget about.
Yes, tell me more about that, because I think that's really where the magic happens.
What's interesting is that they connect how you feel on the inside with how radiant your skin looks.
Okay.
They talk about staying hydrated, being mindful of what you eat,
Right.
managing stress, and protecting your skin from the sun and wind.
It's so true. Sometimes we get so focused on just products that we forget about the basic stuff. Like drinking enough water. That seems so simple, but it makes a huge difference.
It really does. And they also tell listeners to pay attention to how their skin reacts to certain foods.
Right.
Some people find that things like dairy or spicy food can actually trigger their flare-ups.
Oh, that's a good point. That reminds me, Glow Up Chronicles also tackled the question of how to deal with acne when you have sensitive skin.
Right, because that's tough. You want to get rid of the breakouts, but you don't want to irritate your skin even more.
Yeah, it's like walking a tightrope.
They really stress finding products that are gentle but still effective.
Okay, so what kind of advice did they give?
They say to look for products that are non-comedogenic. That means they won't clog your pores.
Right.
Which is super important when you have acne.
Right.
And they highlight ingredients like niacinamide and azelaic acid.
Okay, I'm loving this. This is like skincare geek talk, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
They also reminded listeners that spot treatment is their friend.
Yes, exactly. If you only have a few blemishes, just treat those spots directly.
Okay, yeah.
You don't want to use harsh ingredients all over your face.
That's a good point. Sometimes I'm guilty of overdoing it. All right, so this has been a ton of information, and we've only just scratched the surface of this episode.
Yeah, there's so much more.
But don't worry, we've got a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, stay tuned for part 2.
Okay.
We'll be diving even deeper into the world of sensitive skincare.
Okay, exciting.
We'll talk about the link between stress and your skin, the importance of being kind to yourself, and some of the latest research on the skin microbiome.
Oh, okay, I can't wait.
So much good stuff.
So much good stuff. All right.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon.
Welcome back. Ready for part 2 of our deep dive into sensitive skin.
I am. Let's do it. This Glow Up Chronicles episode, I swear, it's like a mini skincare masterclass.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
They pack so much into one episode.
Yeah.
But that's why we love them. They get it.
They really do. Okay, so speaking of getting it, they talked about something that really stuck with me, the connection between our gut health and our skin.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard a lot about that?
Oh, absolutely. It's like it's everywhere right now.
It is.
It seems like the gut microbiome is the key to like everything.
It really does. So Glow Up Chronicles actually interviewed a dermatologist who specializes in the gut-skin connection.
Oh.
And she was saying that when your gut microbiome is out of balance, it can cause inflammation all over your body.
Makes sense.
Which can then show up as skin problems like acne, eczema, even rosacea.
Wow, it really is all connected.
It really is. So what can we do? What can we do to support our gut health and hopefully make our skin happy?
Well, the dermatologist recommends a few things. First, focusing on eating lots of fiber, which is like food for the good bacteria in your gut.
Okay.
So fruits, veggies, whole grains, all the good stuff.
It's like what your grandma always told you to eat.
Exactly.
Oh.
And she also suggests adding in some fermented foods, like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut.
Ooh.
All of those are packed with probiotics, which are those live bacteria that can help balance your gut.
Okay, I'm so on board with this. I love a good kimchi pancake. What about supplements? Are those helpful?
She mentions that some people might benefit from a probiotic supplement, especially after they've taken antibiotics.
Oh.
Because antibiotics can kind of wipe out both the good and the bad bacteria.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But she says, always talk to your doctor before you start any new supplement, just to be safe.
Right. Always a good idea. But I love that they're bringing awareness to the gut-skin connection. It's such an important part of the whole picture.
Absolutely. And it really sits in with their whole holistic approach to skincare, right? It's not just what you put on your skin, it's what you put in your body, too.
So true. And speaking of holistic approaches, they also talked about stress management.
Oh, yeah.
Which I feel like we could all use a little more of.
Definitely.
The dermatologist actually explained, the science behind how stress messes with our skin.
Okay.
She said when we're stressed, our body releases this hormone called cortisol,
right,
which can trigger inflammation and make our skin produce more oil, leading to breakouts and other fun stuff.
Ugh, that explains so much. It's like stress just shows up on your face.
It really does. So Chronicles gave us some practical tips on managing stress. They talk about things like exercise, yoga, meditation, spending time in nature.
I love all of it.
Yeah, even just taking a few deep breaths throughout the day.
I need to do that more often.
Right, I know. It's like, you should do these things, but when you're actually feeling overwhelmed, it can be so hard to actually do them. So, do they have any tips for actually incorporating these practices into our routine?
They say to start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life at once.
Okay.
Find one thing that you really enjoy that you can stick with. Like if you hate running, don't force yourself to go for a jog.
That's a good point, yeah.
Find something that makes you happy and helps you relax.
Right. Self-care shouldn't be a chore.
Exactly.
It just should be something you enjoy. And speaking of self-care, they also talked about sleep.
Ah, yes.
Sleep, which I am terrible at. I am such a night owl, but I always want to know more about the science behind why sleep is so important.
Well, they said that when we sleep, our bodies repair and regenerate cells, including skin cells. So if we don't sleep enough, our skin can't fully recover from the damage of the day.
Right.
And they can lead to, premature aging, dullness, dark circles.
Okay. That is a good incentive to get more sleep. I've noticed when I do get enough sleep, my skin looks so much better.
Yeah, it's like hitting the reset button.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this whole conversation is making me want to go to bed early tonight.
Me too.
But before we wrap up this part, I want to touch on something else that I thought was really important that they mentioned in the episode. Self-compassion.
Oh, yes. They talked about being kind to yourself.
Yes. Especially when it comes to our skin.
I love that.
It's so easy to get caught up in that whole perfect skin thing.
Yeah.
Scrolling through social media, comparing ourselves to others.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it is. But really, everyone's skin is different. And perfect skin doesn't even exist.
It really doesn't. And especially with sensitive skin.
Right.
It's just going to be more reactive and less predictable.
Right.
So we need to be extra gentle with ourselves.
It's about embracing your skin's uniqueness.
Yes.
Instead of trying to reach this ideal that doesn't even exist.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our skin is a reflection of how we're doing overall.
Yeah.
And that it's constantly changing.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's about accepting your skin for what it is.
Right.
While still taking care of it and understanding its needs.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to transition to the next part.
Okay.
Where we're going to talk about the latest research on the skin microbiome.
Okay.
And how we can keep it balanced.
All right, so we've covered a ton of ground here, everything from understanding sensitive skin to building a routine, even exploring the connection between our gut and our skin. But I really loved how Glow Up Chronicles went deep on the skin microbiome.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was so interesting.
They explained that our skin is home to trillions of bacteria, fungi, and viruses. All of that makes up what's called our skin microbiome. And turns out this invisible world plays a huge role in how healthy our skin is.
It's amazing how much we're still learning about our bodies, right?
Right.
So what does a healthy skin microbiome actually look like, and what can we do to, keep it in good shape?
Well, they described it as this careful balance between good and bad microbes.
Okay.
And when that balance gets messed up,
yeah,
it can lead to all kinds of problems like acne, eczema, even wrinkles.
Oh, no.
They even compared it to a rainforest ecosystem.
Okay, a rainforest.
I know, right?
What does that have to do with our skin?
So they said, just like a rainforest needs lots of different plants and animals to thrive, our skin needs a diverse range of microbes to work properly.
Okay.
And when we use harsh products or disrupt that balance, it's like clear-cutting the rainforest.
Oh, wow.
It weakens the whole ecosystem
Right.
and makes it more vulnerable to problems.
That's a great way to put it. So how do we avoid clear-cutting our skin? How can we support that biodiversity?
They had a few recommendations. First, be careful about the products you use.
Okay.
Washing too much or using harsh soaps can actually strip away the good bacteria.
Oh, right.
So they suggest going with gentle, pH-balanced cleansers.
That makes sense. It's like we're learning to be gentler, not just in life, but with our skincare too.
Exactly. They also talked about prebiotics and probiotics for the skin.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those.
Yeah, so prebiotics basically act like food for the good bacteria,
Okay.
while probiotics actually add more of those beneficial bacteria to your skin.
So it's like we're gardening, but for our skin,
I love that.
what kind of products actually have prebiotics and probiotics in them?
They said some serums, moisturizers, even face masks are now made with them.
Oh, wow.
And they suggest looking for ingredients like inulin, fructooligosaccharides, and lactobacillus.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write those down. This is all so fascinating.
Right.
It really makes you think about how connected everything is, from our gut to our skincare to these tiny little microbes. It's incredible. And it shows us how much we still don't know.
Right.
But I think the main takeaway is that keeping our skin microbiome happy is key to having healthy, glowing skin.
Absolutely. And Glow Up Chronicles gave us so many good tips for doing just that. This whole deep dive has been amazing. I feel like I understand sensitive skin so much better now.
Me too. And I think what's so great about this episode is that it really makes you think about skincare in a whole new way.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just about products, it's about our lifestyle, what we eat, and even this invisible world on our skin.
It's about realizing that real beauty comes from within, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to take care of the outside too.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance. And I think Glow Up Chronicles gave us a really great guide for how to do that.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listener with this. You've gotten this personalized guide to sensitive skin, but this is really just the start of your journey.
Yeah, keep trying things out, keep learning, and most importantly, pay attention to your skin. It knows what it needs. And remember, there are tons of other people out there with sensitive skin going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to connect with them, share your experiences, and embrace your amazing skin.
That's perfect.
I love that.
Until next time, keep glowing inside and out.